My name's Ian Hamilton. I'm part of a movement of in-house recruiters you probably didn't know existed. We are not administrators or CV passers. We are not field agency recruiters. Quite the opposite. We know that we have the upper hand when attracting people for our business. Because we are fighting to deliver the demands of our hiring managers and find the best people, we have to do things differently. We don't have an endless supply of job boards and databases to cold call, but we know we have the upper hand. We build employer brands, we create engaging recruitment campaigns. Our teams deliver more value than an agency could ever dream of, and we care about our candidates. But here is the question: how do we cut through the deafening noise of the recruitment industry and grab the attention of our talent pools? And that is what this podcast is all about. Welcome to TAHack. Hey folks, welcome along to another edition of TAHack. We're back on the Facebook conversation this week, but for a little bit of a different reason actually. So you'll have seen a while back that I did a number of videos about the general data protection regulations that are coming in 2018. And those general data protection regulations are causing a wee bit of a fuss in the recruitment industry, because there's a number of things that it means you have to do with every single person on your database to make sure they're compliant. And if they're not compliant, you'll find that you'll get a 4% up to a maximum of a 4% fine of your total yearly revenue for your business. So for a small recruitment agency, that could mean losing most of your profit. For a large business, that could mean multiples of millions of pounds of a fine just because you didn't register people in the right way on your talent attraction systems, your ATS, your recruitment marketing system, whatever it might be. But also it means that you're going to have to switch up your processes a wee bit, and there's a potential that after a period of time, people that haven't interacted with you, you're going to have to delete them off your systems altogether and never send them another message again. But that doesn't mean that we all need to panic. There's always ways to get around these things, and that's what I'm here to help you with today. So if you like this episode, hit share, hit like, spread the message. Hopefully I'm providing good, valuable content to you, so hopefully you'll be happy to share it with your network. So how can we do this? Well, we can do this with a tool called Facebook Ads. So Facebook Ads has a pixel that you can use on your website. So you install this pixel on your website, and this pixel basically tracks all of the users that come to your website on Facebook's system. So whenever somebody comes to visit your website, a pixel is placed on their computer, and then every time that they visit your website in the future, you know they visited and you know exactly what content they have visited as well. So we can cover more of that on a future episode, but let's just take into account somebody on your ATS, okay? So let's just assume that you're registering them in a compliant way. They apply for a job, you've got their permission for you to contact them in the future, and then what happens is this person drops off the job market, doesn't respond to any of your emails, doesn't respond to any of your phone calls, doesn't have any interaction with your website for, let's say, 6 months is the time that most businesses will put on their generally accepted time of keeping data. So, you're allowed to keep information for a certain amount of time as long as it is relevant to the business need that you have. So keeping somebody's information for 6 months to a year will be fine. But what if they don't interact with you in that time? Then you need to delete them off your system. Well, thankfully, Facebook will help us with that, because we can create a number of campaigns to, number one, help make sure that doesn't happen, but number two, make sure that that going forward, if we do lease somebody off our applicant tracking system or recruitment marketing system, we're actually able to retarget them and bring them back onto our systems to benefit from their data in the future. So what might this look like? So somebody that, let's say, rather than 6 months, let's say somebody that hasn't interacted with you for 2 months. Well, what we want to think about then is putting out a message that's relevant to them, okay? Somebody that hasn't looked at jobs for 2 months, okay? Let's assume that they're not on the job market at the minute. So we can probably offer them some value to bring them back onto your system and to reconfirm that they are interested in what you're doing. So this is likely to be content. So a content blog post that would help them progress their career. 4 courses that you should take to progress your career to the next stage as a person in this industry with this skill set. Something like that, bring people back, get them to download or opt in again to your content, means that you've got another 6 months to a year to start bringing them in. So if you do that after 2 months, they don't interact, let's then provide them something different after 4 months. Let's provide information again after 6 months, and let's just say this is the point that if they don't interact with you, you've decided within your business that this is when you're going to delete them off your system. And 6 months is generally the amount of time that companies decide is business applicable for keeping data. So you bring them down, you give them a different piece of content each time, you push adverts out to them, you try and get their re-opt-in confirmed again, come down here, we push out another piece of content. Really, really valuable stuff at this stage. Could be a salary survey to make sure that their salary is on rate with the rest of the market. Download the salary survey, check out your salary against everybody else's. That'll be a really engaging thing to be able to do to make sure that you were getting paid enough. And it's certainly, if I was an employee, it's certainly something I would opt in for from a business. Now, what happens if we get down to this stage? They don't interact and well, they drop off. Well, then we can say, well, let's say after 8 months, and then build a campaign 10 months, 12 months. We can continue with Facebook's Pixel to push more and more content out to them. Every now and again, we'll say, so let's say content, let's say job, let's say careers fair. All of the different content that we can push out to them, and every single time we push content to them, we're going to try and reconvert their data into a known visitor to our website, i.e. at very most their name and email address, bring them in a GDPR compliant way and have their data on our systems again that we can use email marketing to go out to them. Now, of course, in all of this, so in this period of time, you'll be using other channels to target them as well. You'll be using your email marketing, you'll be using other channels. But Facebook offers tools that can help you bring people back in at this stage of your campaign, bring them back onto your site, bring them back interacting with you. So I hope that gave you a bit of an idea how you can use Facebook's tools to start maybe try and offset some of the challenges that GDPR is going to create in your business. And yeah, thanks for coming along to another episode of TAHack. Hit like, hit share, share it with your friends, share it with your colleagues. Don't keep it to yourself, don't keep it a secret. I really appreciate every single time somebody shares something of mine. It really means a lot to me. And yeah, I'll hope to see you again in the next episode of TAHack. Cheers now.